Explain the Onision stuff, please. I can't watch his videos. Oh, God. I watched like the first minute and a half, and then I just got like bored and annoyed. I mean, it's just like such blatant manipulation of the narrative that I'm just like, oh, God. The most frustrating thing is that people sometimes don't see through it, which is like, I mean, a lot of the comments did. What I thought was one of the most funny things in the entire video, and it kind of gives away how bad the video is if you just like read the description. But like, look, this is the description. Jaclyn Glenn is an atheist who is dating social repose. Like the way that he worded this description, I feel like he's trying so hard to use keywords to make the video relevant. So he puts my name with atheist and then social repose all in the first line of the video description. Okay, so here we go. Jaclyn Glenn is an atheist who is dating social repose. She had a debate with me a while back. So now we have debate. So if anybody searches Jaclyn Glenn debate, this has a chance of popping. She had a debate with me a while back, and as a former friend who I dumped. So now we've got dumped, another keyword, for associating with social repose, to social repose, a man who has done things I cannot forgive. It's just like, to me, I think it's so funny. It's more of the same. It's more of the same. He thinks that he has some kind of right to speak about my boobs again. He reacted to a video that was 4 months old. 4 months. Like, whenever we were originally beefing about this, I wanted him to react to my video. You know? I wanted him to react to the video. But he never fucking did. He just said, I'm not gonna watch their video. I don't ever watch their videos. So now, 4 months later, he does a react video to my video. And it's like so bad. I think it's kind of sad. Like, I talked to Richie about this earlier tonight, but like the first time he like said something negative about me, because we were like, you know, nice to each other. And the first time that he said something mean about me was whenever he saw the photo that I posted with my friend Matt and Richie. It was the first time like I posted something with Richie, and like shortly in that time period I also had posted my first video with Richie. And he like went off. So he's been like angry at my relationship with Richie now. Because I remember that time when I posted that photo. It was over a year ago. I let that sink in that it has been over a year. He's been talking about me and Richie together and complaining about it for over a year. What? Like, once I like realized that, I'm like, holy shit. That is so pathetic. Like, I'm imagining him, like, seeing me with Richie and being, like, mad about it for some reason. I don't get it. But being like, oh, they're probably only, I give it a couple weeks. I give it a couple months or something, like, condescending like that. And 1 year later, we're doing great. We're about ready to, like, travel Europe together. We've got, like, all these awesome plans. And he's still bitching. He's still bitching. I don't know. At this point, it's like so ridiculous. I can't take it seriously, but it is funny to think about like how sad this is for him. Like, what is he doing? He might be watching. I don't care. I don't care. None of it. It's so funny. Other YouTubers that have had beef with him, like this always happens. Anytime he does something shitty to me, if I tweet about it, there's other YouTubers that he's had beef with. They always send me like a DM and they're like, yo, this shit's so funny. This is like a thing that I had with him, or this is the shitty comment he made about me in a video. Why does an onion boy like Richie? It's such a long story. Like if you go back and watch like Richie's videos about it, he covers it pretty well. But basically, like it's such a long story. Like Richie's ex told Onision a bunch of shit about Richie, and that made him not like Richie. But now he's not even friends with her anymore, so it's just kind of a weird situation. He's held on to this grudge against Richie for so long, and I think part of that is because he's jealous of Richie, honestly. I mean, he would deny it, you know, until his last breath. But I am pretty convinced that his hatred towards Richie is primarily based out of a deep jealousy for so many things. I think, you know, I mentioned this to Richie earlier, and his first reaction was like, oh, I think it's because I have you. And he's jealous that I have you and that we have this, like, a really good relationship. And I'm like, well, maybe. But I think it's further than that. I think that, you know, even if that is a part of it, which he seems pretty convinced that that's like the majority of it. I think what it really is that he's jealous that Richie is a talented musician, and that's something that he's always wanted, but he will never have. So I kind of think that that's the real reason. But That's just my opinion. And I've never been a huge supporter of the idea that Onision has this weird crush on me. A lot of other people have kind of perpetuated that idea, and like I can kind of see it. It is weird how much he talks about me, and like how much he goes out of his way to talk about my boobs. It's strange. And like he's like so nasty to me now. Like it's so over the top that it almost feels like that's not how you treat somebody unless you have like something that's a little bit deeper that you've been hurt by with that person. So it's just a little strange to me, but I never have been like the hugest like supporter of that idea. I think more of it, especially with Richie, is that he's just kind of jealous of Richie's success, maybe, especially in the like music area. Because Richie's like very talented. He's like a really great singer and like super creative with, you know, the songs that he writes, and you know he's doing really well right now. So I think that that kind of burns him a little, but that's just my 2 cents. Most of it's just saying that getting that kind of surgery is gross. I mean, to each their own. You know, like, as I grab my boobs. I don't know, I feel like, what has it been, like 5 months now for me? They're not supposed to be fully settled in until about 6 months. And it can still take like a full year, a couple years to like really let them settle in. But it's so funny because like whenever he attacked me at first about boobs looking fake and all of that, like I had a lot of criticism about them looking fake, but I'm like, listen, you do realize it's been like 1 month since I had the surgery. It's not like that. Like there's a lot of healing that has to come after you get surgery. You have to like, you know, wait for the swelling to go down, and then everything kind of settles. Still in the healing process. Like I'm still going to my doctor, you know, I'm still doing checkups, and there are like exercises and massages that I'm supposed to do. And that's, you know, I still have things like that I'm scheduled to continue doing for the next several months. So, you know, it's like everything is settling in. So like people can say that it doesn't look good, which honestly, I thought it looked great like months ago. Like I'm feeling really good about it. But for people to look back at videos of me like post-op, like a few weeks to a month, like even 2 months, it's like, you do realize that like surgeries take time to heal. Like, I don't know. And the thing is like, if you're going to criticize boob jobs and say that they're unnecessary, like criticize all plastic surgery. But he like promotes people to get nose jobs all the time. All that should matter is that it makes you happy and more confident. It does. And what pisses me off is that it's like this idea of it's not self-love is being perpetuated. Like I never didn't love myself. You know, I just had a thing that I wasn't totally happy with, and I have no regrets. I have 0 regrets about doing that. Like I feel awesome. I feel more confident. You know, I did it because I loved myself enough to do something for myself, you know, for myself, key word there, not anybody else, not for Richie, not for, you know, anyone. I did it for myself because I loved myself enough to do something about a thing that I didn't like. I don't know. You can view it however you want. You know, if you don't like plastic surgery, then don't get it, you know? And I never promoted it saying that everyone needed to get plastic surgery. Honestly, like for a long time, I was, you know, not even sure if I wanted to do it because I was afraid that people would think less of me for it. But then I'm like, why am I so concerned about what other people think? I should care about myself and what I want. Screw what other people think. I'm just going to go for it. You know, so, you know, I think the self-confidence and the love for myself helped me overcome my fear of judgment and just go for it anyway. Like my fear wasn't, are people not going to like me for having small boobs? My fear was like, are people not going to like me for doing something about my personal insecurity? Like that was what was holding me back, my fear of what other people were going to think. And whenever I got over that and I let go of my fear, I went for what I wanted. So it's kind of the opposite of what he's saying, which is sad. He thought that like I was feeling pressured by society or something, but the only pressure I was feeling was to not do this thing that I'd been wanting for so long because I was afraid of the judgment that I would get from it, which I am getting from him more than anyone else. So it's interesting. Yeah, and I'm never promoting it. Like, I'm not, just because I do something doesn't mean everybody has to do it. If you get tattoos, it doesn't mean that your audience has to get tattoos. If you get boobs, your audience doesn't have to get boobs. If you dye your hair, your audience doesn't have to dye your hair. If you're in this weird relationship with, you know, an extra person, if you have a third person in your relationship and it's dramatic and you put all your drama shit online, that doesn't mean that people in your audience have to do the same thing. If they're monogamous and they don't want to do that, or if they're uncomfortable doing the, you know, relationship stuff that he does, they don't have to do it. You know, People make their own choices that are YouTubers, and people who watch them do not have to make those same choices. So to make an entire video and like in that video say that like me doing this thing for myself is somehow telling people that they need to have plastic surgery is just as ludicrous as me saying, hey, Greg, you having a relationship that involves 3 people is basically telling people in monogamous relationships that watch you that they're not okay. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, you do what you want to do to be happy, and, I'll do what I want to do to be happy. Unless I make a video where I'm like, yeah, people who don't have this cup size of bra need fake boobs. Like, if I say that in a video, then condemn me for that. But, like, doing something for myself, fuck off. Thank you for the likes, guys. And I was honest about it. It's so confusing because, like, there was a girl, and I posted this clip on my Twitter. I don't remember who it was, but she got a nose job. And she was honest with her audience and told her audience that she decided to get a nose job. And he made an entire video about, like, fake people. And in this video, he included her saying she's not fake because she was honest with her audience about what she did. So he was basically applauding her for being honest about her plastic surgery, right? So she said she's not fake. Good for her. She was honest with her audience. So, but with me, I did the same thing. I was honest with my audience about everything that I was going through. But somehow it was bad that I did that because that's somehow telling my audience that they need to also have plastic surgery. So make up your mind. Which is it? Are you supposed to tell your audience because that's like the honorable, not fake, honest thing to do? Or do you not tell your audience because it's somehow promoting it and telling them that they need the same thing? Like, it's so mind-blowingly inconsistent. I don't understand how more people don't call him out on it, but it's just like, it's whatever at this point. He said in the video that if his partner got surgery, he would dump them. I think that if you love somebody, if you want to tell them, like, I care about you and I love you and I don't think that you need this procedure, I think that that's fine. But to tell them that they can't do it and to put an ultimatum out there saying I will leave you if you do is so unsupportive and so controlling. I don't know. I would never put up with that shit. I would never, ever let somebody control me to that extent in a relationship, ever. And, Richie would never do something like that, ever. So, he spends so much time condemning Richie and saying that Richie's like a bad person. But he's nothing like the way Greg describes him. He's supportive and kind and, like, the best relationship I've been in by far. So, I don't know. It just kind of blows my mind how much he wants to hate Richie. It's not logical. It's not logical. So, anyways, I think that's enough about that.